YouTube, I am not motivated at all this month. I haven't even written a single word for my website. But I'm not feeling too bad because of what I achieved last month. So stick around to find out more. So I'm the sort of person that if you give me a task and you don't really give me any structure or regular deadlines, I'm probably going to put it off to the last minute and maybe not do it at all. You may or may not know that I'm actually a current member of Project 24, which is the course that's set up by Jim and Recce over at Income School, and it's kind of designed to help you replace your income within 24 months. Now, the main course in that is something called the 60 Steps. This helps you sort of set up a very basic website with the first sort of 30 articles that you need, and we call that a seed in the ground. Now, this is a great course. It takes you through 60 days, and each day it will tell you exactly what to do. And I flew through that with flying colours. But after that, you're kind of told, just carry on doing the same thing. Sure, there are other courses and things within Project 24, but when you're left to your own devices, that sort of productivity just drops off. So, how can you keep motivated? How can you keep the same level of articles being published each day, each month? Well, that's where Jim and Recce have brought in the Content Warrior Challenge, and this is what I did in September. So this is why during this month, October, I've kind of slackened with the article publishing. I probably shouldn't have done that, but my focus has been on other projects to do with my website, and also some plans that I'm coming up with, not only to help myself, but also to help you if you're watching today. So I don't feel so bad about not publishing so much this month, because last month I managed to publish 25 articles and also to publish 5 videos. So that kind of equals to about 64,000 words in 1 month on the website. So that is really going to give me a boost. So let's just check some of the stats for my website now, just to give you an idea of where I am at the moment. So I am 157 days in, I'm that accurate, 157 days into the project of my main Project 24 website. I've got 60 articles on the website at the moment, and I have a YouTube channel which has 13 videos on it. So at the moment, that's bringing me in, so in the last 30 days, that's about 633 page views, but I always sort of just work on organic views, page views, and I also try and sort of cut myself out of the equation. So I do organic views not from Taiwan, because that's where I'm based. So I've got 418 organic page views in the last 30 days. So that equates to about 118 in the last 7 days. And for Project 24 standards, I'm well on target, because I'm only sort of coming into month 5 now. So with that, I'm getting a bounce rate of about between 91.68% overall, and 91.16% with organic views. Now, doesn't really mean much, the bounce rate. So it's far more important to look at what's called the exit rate, and there I'm sort of between 83 and 86%. So for me, I think I'm doing quite well with those stats. So just if you're interested in what my site's doing at the moment. So yeah, it's plateauing at the moment. I haven't seen that famous hockey stick growth, and that should hopefully be coming in the next couple of months. But clearly my stats are growing, so that's pretty good. Okay, so let's go back to talking about the Content Warrior Challenge. What is it exactly? Well, so about twice a year, Jim and Recce try to motivate their users, their students, to try and kickstart that production of articles again and again. So this year, last month, September, we had about 205 people, I think, I think that's a small percentage of the total student body in Project 24. But 205 people signed up to write as much content as they could, and the target was within those 30 days of September to produce 60,000 words. So that's what we were aiming to hit, and if you reach 60,000 words, then you're going to get a little badge in the community that says you're a content warrior. And okay, it's something to maybe boast about, but the main thing is that we have a Google Sheet that we updated each day or every couple of days with the word count that we'd achieved for each particular day. And I can tell you, when you're looking at other people producing content and you see, okay, there's 205 people and you're in the top 10, you know, only 9 other people are sort of ahead of you or whatever it was, that really gives you a kickstart. You know, you're really like, okay, I want to get to 60,000. I want to beat that person. I want to produce more. I suppose it's a little bit childish, the rivalry, but man, it really inspires you. So for me, I didn't write every single day. I always keep the weekend free because it was Saturday. Quite often I was working, I was teaching, or I think in September I was actually free, so I was able to spend a bit of time with my wife. But Sunday is always a day for sort of going running or doing something like that. Anyway, so out of the 30 days, I think I took 10 days off. I didn't do any writing, and I hit 65,000 words, just shy of 65,000 words. I think that's pretty good. So that's an extra 25 articles I have on the website, and I produced about 5 or 6 videos. So that's pretty good for a month, seeing that the previous sort of 3 months I only achieved about 35 articles. So sometimes it's really, really good to have that motivation of seeing others doing the same thing, going through the same struggle. But I can tell you, after a month of doing that, you do not want to write anything. And that's perfectly fine, okay? So I think taking sort of a couple days off after producing so much content, don't worry too much about it. So the main thing is, if you can kind of write 2,000 words every day, then you are just going to produce so much content over time that, you know, your website is going to take off, especially if you've spread your search analysis and you've tried different areas of your niche. If you do that and you produce a lot of content early on, then you can go back to Google Analytics and sort of look at what's doing well, and you know, you might have a few surprises. Okay, this kind of content is quite popular, whereas I thought this content might be more popular. So it's really good to produce a lot of content as quickly as you can, and then over time you'll learn what your users like. However, let's just kind of look at the pros and cons of doing something like the Content Warrior Challenge. So obviously the pro, as I mentioned, is you're going to be very motivated. You're going to get a lot of content onto your website very quickly, and the sooner you get content on the website, you press publish, you know, Google's going to find it, they're going to start ranking, and you may know that the average post takes about 35 weeks to reach about 90% of the traffic it will bring in over the course of its life on your website. So you really don't want to be hanging around. And another thing is that if you're kind of new to writing, it's going to hone your skills, especially with the type of posts that we write in the income school style, which is completely different to anything you've probably written before, especially if you've come from a background of writing for other websites. And if you haven't written at all, then it's kind of a bit weird to write a post. I mean, most people don't write more than an email these days. So doing so much writing in such a short time is really going to help you practice those skills. And you know, after that, you're gonna bust out like a 2,000 word post within a couple of hours, and it's going to be easier. However, I did find, for me personally, there were some sort of disadvantages to working so quickly and trying to just produce content and just kind of hit that 60,000 words. So the main thing is that you're more worried about the word content than you are about the quality. You're just like, okay, I need to hit this target today. So you've got to kind of almost pull yourself back from just saying, okay, I'm going to write as much as I can. You need to do your research and make sure that what you're writing is not just what the other person wrote on the SERP, you know, because you're doing your research that way. Don't just copy what people said. You've really got to take the time to think of new ideas and better ideas and more useful ideas. The other thing I found is that I kind of fluffed a little bit more than I should have done. Again, you're trying to reach the word count, so you're just like, okay, I'm just going to put that in and talk about nonsense and maybe add some content that's not really connected to the query that you're writing for. So although I think the Content Warrior Challenge was very useful, I got a lot of content out there very quickly, I probably have to go back and edit some of those posts just because it's not going to be the top quality article that I need on the website. So just bear this in mind. Yes, work quickly. Yes, produce a lot of content as quickly as possible. But don't just produce it for the sake of producing it. It's got to be good quality posts. It's got to be good quality content. If you don't do that, your website's going to suffer. So the other thing really is that it's tiring. So you've got to be aware that if you spend 30 days writing non-stop, probably the next 30 days you're going to need to take a break. But this is fine, okay, because you can produce your articles and then after that you can do other things like maybe finding better images. You know, that's less intensive than writing. Maybe you're going to spend time improving your EAT, so your expertise, authoritativeness and trustworthiness with Google. This takes time and it's very useful, and when you're trying to write a lot of posts it kind of goes on the back burner. So it's all about a balance between producing content and also the other task you have about your website. Okay, so that's just my experience with Project 24 and the Warrior Content Challenge. You can of course do your own Warrior Challenge at home. Just set yourself a sort of a 2,000 word target each day. Do that for a month and you'll be surprised at how much content you're going to produce. Okay, so what's next? Well, I just want to reveal that over the next couple weeks I'm really working on a bit of a surprise for you guys. So I am a student of Project 24 and I have learned quite a few new skills, but I can't reveal everything about Project 24. It's not my material. I don't have the rights to all of those kind of videos and things, but I can give you the hints. I can tell you what to look out for, what to pay attention to. So what I'm going to produce is a little sort of series of videos revealing a little bit more about my experience with Project 24 and some of the things that you can use to apply to your website even if you're not a member of Project 24. So if you're watching this in a couple of weeks, just go over to my website at incomeschoolstudent.com and you'll see a little ad there to sign up to my newsletter, and that's where you're going to find that information. If you're watching this week, just be a little bit patient. I'm working on something a little bit special and I think it's going to be really useful for you guys. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment if you've got any question about your website and sort of my experience with building a Project 24 style website. I'm here to help. I'm happy to share what I know. Naturally, I'm a teacher. I like to pass on knowledge. So yeah, just leave me a comment, any questions you have, and don't forget to click a like and the notification bell so you can get a notification of the next video that I release. So thanks very much for watching, and if you want to become a Project 24 member, if you want to use my link, I would really appreciate that, and I'll see you on the other side. So bye bye.